Hello everyone, this is a remake of a couple of old videos that I made on similar topics. So first of all, what is the problem that we are going to address? The problem is weapons in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 Nexus is full of dozens and dozens of mods that add individual weapons. The problem is that most likely they are not compatible between each other, and in a lot of cases they come with the wrong ammunition types. So with this video I'm going to show you how to create a single mod that addresses by itself the problem of the weapons and also the way to inject them correctly into the level lists with no compatibility issues. So the first problem is about the way in which the weapon mods inject the weapons into the game. This can happen in two ways. The way number one is the quest, and the way number two is the leveled item edit. So to show you what I'm talking about, first of all we're going to use Fallout 4 edit to open some weapon mods. So the way it works, basically, when an NPC spawns, it picks a weapon randomly from a certain bucket. This bucket is called level list. So if you add weapons into this bucket, automatically the NPC, when spawning, will most likely pick some of these new weapons that you have added. The problem is that this level list is a record, and as all the records in Fallout 4, if 2, 3, 4 mods edit the same record, what's going to happen is that only the mod loaded at the bottom will prevail, and all the other ones will get deleted. So for example, if there are 2 mods that edit the same level list, and that level list by default has inside weapon A and B, the first mod changes it so it adds weapon A, B, and C, and the second mod instead adds weapon D. So according to the first mod, that list adds weapons A, B, and C. According to the second mod, it adds weapons A, B, and D. As a result, since they are editing the same record, the second mod that's loaded at the bottom will prevail, and in-game you will see only A, B, and D. You won't see C at all. Mod authors have tried to address this problem by injecting weapons through scripts. So they use scripts to inject the weapons into the level lists without touching the level lists themselves. This kind of works, but the problem is that you have zero control of how it happens. You just have to take it the way it is. What I suggest instead is to use this program zmerge or merge plugins you launch zmerge, start session, and you select the plugins that you want to merge, and then you merge them together. So what happens? This program will pick individual mods and will just merge them into one single gigantic mod. So you save space, because you can activate max 254 mods. If you have more than 254 ESPs plus ESMs activated, ESPs are not flagged as ESLs, the game will crash. So you need to save space. That's why, for example, I have all of these weapons mods from Plasma Arsenal, all of these ones until here. They are merged together into my personal weapon pack. So this weapon pack handles all of these. As the time goes by, of course, more weapon mods spawn on the Nexus. So for example, today, these two weapons spawn. So what can you do? You can flag them as ESLs, so they don't count. This one counts. These ones don't count in the total number of mods active. And then you must copy the records as override into the mod that you want to use to address all of them. So first you create your merge with what you have, and then you do what I'm going to explain you now. And then if more mods come out after you created your merge, then you use the deep copy as override into method. So first of all, I'm going to show you the deep copy as override into method. So we have put the two new mods that I want to integrate into my pack on top of the list. First of all, we're going to turn them into ESPs flagged as ESLs. This one comes by default as an ESL. I don't want that because the ESLs are forced on top of the list here. I want them all together. If it's flagged as ESL, you won't be able to drag it down. So I just flagged it as ESP just on in the folder. I just changed the ending part here from ESP to ESL, from ESL to ESP. So once you've done that, you load Fallout 4 edit. First thing we're going to do is find them, of course. You want to be sure these are flagged as ESLs, so they don't count. This is not flagged as ESL. So first of all, you click here on the ESP, compact form IDs for ESL. If it is possible, it is just going to do that. If it is not possible, it will tell you not possible. Are you sure to do this? It basically renames also the references so it keeps working. You say yes, and then it does it. Once it's done, you go to the file header, record flags ESL. So now it's flagged as ESL, and even if loaded, it won't count in the overall load order. You can't just copy as override into the final pack and just untick these ones, because once you deep copy something from here to here, this one is added as master file of this one, as you see here. So even if you untick them, the game will tick them again automatically when you start it, and they will still count into the total 254 max limit that you don't want to hit. So that's why you need to turn them into ESLs, so they don't count. So these are the mods, these are the records that I want to inject into my weapon pack. And again, as I told you, my weapon pack is created through this other program that I showed you, Z-edit. And I'm doing this because at the time in which I created that pack, these weapon mods didn't exist. So I can't recreate the pack again every single fucking time. So first of all, I want to make these ones compatible with my system. In my own system, I have, due to all the problems that I've explained to you before, I have deleted all the scripts that automatically injected weapons into the level lists because I wanted to have complete control over the leveled lists. So I deleted all the automatic scripts that injected the weapons. I created my own level list and I injected the weapons with my own level list. First of all, I'm going to check if there are any scripts that automatically mess up with my level lists. Kill Tracker doesn't add things usually. Usually the scripts that add weapons are named LL, which is level list, LL inject, weapon LL inject, in this case, well rod LL inject, and shit like that. So this doesn't seem to inject anything. Kill progress, maybe this is for some sort of rewards, and it doesn't add. So this quest, you have to keep it. It is not a quest that adds weapons into level list. Let's see if this other one has master quest. Let's see. Possible legendary. Yes, this makes the weapon spawn here. This quest, this script, it's actually touching this level list and will inject the weapon into this level list. I don't want that. Let's see. So there must be some sort of encounters in this quest, but I'm not going to touch this. I'm going to touch just this. Weapon melee all, LL weapon out arcs. These are all level lists in which this weapon gets injected. I'm going to delete just this. Then level item. It's not touching any base game level list. So maybe this is a way that this mod has to inject its own weapons into its own lists, but it's not editing base level list, otherwise it will be with a different color. Let's see if this one edits anything in the level item. Okay, but this is its own level list again. It's not editing any base ones. Object modification. This is just a personal thing. I hate the fact that a weapon does 30 damage and then you have gigantic, overpowered, big dick receiver and it gets from 30 damage to 200 damage. Like, no, the damage depends on the caliber, not on the receiver. So what I do in my system, I delete all the receivers and I put the base damage, the top damage on the base receiver. I'll just keep it because it looks like it's different. Let's see if it modifies any damage. Attack damage. No, we're going to just put to default. Constructible object. Again, I deleted the calibrated, so I have to, of course, delete this. Otherwise, it will make an error. Again, error could not be resolved, of course, because I deleted the object modification that was referred by this. Constructible object. Keyword. Nothing. Mod call. There is no mod call. Otherwise, I need to edit that one as well to delete the references to the item that I've deleted. Let's see here. Constructible object, it's melee, I don't care, there are no receivers. Okay, so once we're done with this, we can select deep copy as override into what? Into my main mod. it adds this one as a master file, but again it's flagged as an ESL, so it won't count towards the max limit of 254. These errors, I have no idea what they are. They are always there every fucking time. I don't know how to solve them, but still, in-game, they cause no problems, they cause no crashes. It just works fine every time. It isn't done yet. We're going to do this as well. I'm going to copy all the records. Copy as override into my main mod. Okay. So, you see that it's successfully, the process has ended successfully when this one has a different color. So actually this record is edited by this mod and this mod. It's green because they all edit the record the same way. What is written here prevails on what is written here. So if we do a changes here now, if we do a change here now, it won't appear in the game. If we do a change here though, it will appear in game. So, why did I bring these weapons in this mod? Because in this mod, there are the ammunition for the weapons, and there are also the leveled lists that I need to inject these weapons into my game. So once you have to, if you want to change something, like for example, the ammunition attached to a weapon, the level list that uses a weapon, everything must be inside the same activator. You can't pretend to just load the mods in your load order and pretend for them to work. You have to manually bring the objects, like I did now, inside one ESP and then do the changes from there. So for example, the creation kit fools you, tricks you, because in the creation kit, if I loaded all of these weapons, I would have been able, with the creation kit, to take the well-rod weapon and to assign to it an ammunition that is present only in this ESP. And the creation kit would let you do that. But when you save, it gives you error and it doesn't work. And if you then check with this program, it says ammunition error, it could not be resolved. So if you do this with the creation kit, you get wrecked. If you go with this program, Fallout 4 Edit, then you see weapon. Of course, this is a gigantic weapon list because these are all the weapons in the nexus. They're just into one activator and then all injected into my game. So we're going to find the new ones. This is one. This is the ID and then the axe. Where is the fucking axe? Auto axe. Okay. So I created some level lists. You just create new level list. Easy peasy. It doesn't work. I'm gonna show you straight away how to make it work. So my personal level lists are there they are. So these are just level lists by themselves. You create one and you inject the weapons one by one inside. every single one of these is a weapon. This is the count of how many weapons are in a level list. If you add more than 254 weapons into the same list, as soon as you add the 255th weapon, the list automatically deletes and wipes itself entirely. So don't do that. So for example, I want to add the axe. These by themselves, they don't work. They're just my personal things. I'm going to show you now how to make them work. So I want to add the axe to this one. Add an empty one. How was it named? Maybe DLC01. No, I don't remember. I need to get there and check the weapon editor ID 00DC DLC. Okay. So it's named 00DC DLC. There it is. Just one of them. So if the NPC picks this record, it spawns with one of these, not with billions of these. From what level? From level 1, because I want no level diversification. I want everyone to spawn with everything since the beginning, so the game is more difficult. And then Raider weapons, add, how was it the other one named? Well Rod. Okay. There you go. So currently, those weapons are loaded into these lists in this system, but they still don't appear in the game. So you need to understand more or less, if you want to use my system, what lists are the NPCs using. So to do so, you get to your regular Fallout 4 ESM, non-player character. Usually they are like ENC Raider, ENC Super Mutants, ENC Gunner. There they are. For example, I want to have an idea more or less what leveled lists are these guys picking weapons from. When they die, they drop caps from this list. They drop, if you have this perk, they drop on this list. They drop grenades on death. Oh, okay. LLI, gunner weapons high. So this specific gunner, the colonel gunner, picks weapons from this bucket. So if I change this bucket, putting another bucket into the bucket, this gunner will spawn with my weapons. So what I did is that I left the default level lists this way, but I put my bucket of weapons into these buckets of weapons. So even if a new mod comes out and tells to his own NPCs to use the default lists will be still changed by my mod, and so my weapons will spawn into the new mod as well, even if I don't do anything. Just the way the game works is more, the way I do it is more compatible. So what I did in the end, data weapons. It's just my game name. MechWarrior Online. Level lists. So I found all of them. You can do the same for ammo. You can do the same for food. I did it for everything. So for example, these are the lists used by the raiders. So this is the way the list appears according to Fallout for ESM. So a raider would use this list and would spawn with these weapons. Just a handmade gun at level 1, at level 7 again handmade gun or 10mm pistol, level 22, 44 combat rifle, bullshit. What I did is I deleted everything and I said that they always spawn since level 1 with my list AAA rated weapon, the one in which we have added the weld rod just a couple of minutes ago, and they randomly pick 2 of these weapons outside of those 254 weapons. It's random. You can say 3, you can say 4, you can say whatever. You just need to do it this once. It means that every time that a raider with this list spawns, it picks 2 weapons out of this list since level 1. And this list is my personal list, the one that I have created, in which there are all of the 254 weapons that come from the different mod. And I can put them here. Why? Because first I merged everything in here, and then I added the new ones that came after with the method that I just showed you before. So this is how to make them spawn. If you want to change the ammunition, which is another thing that you may want to do, if you have new calibers installed, this mod adds dozens of calibers. So I just merged this one into my big pack. So I have in my big pack, I have the ammunition that come with that mod, and I can use them at will. So in case, once you have all of these, you can go to the weapon you like. I don't know. AK-47. This is the weapon. These are the ammo that the weapon uses. Of course, in order to have this, you need to have the weapon and the mod that adds the ammunition loaded inside the same activator or merged. And you change it at will. These are the ammo that an NPC has when he spawns with that weapon. So these need to match with this. You can change the damage, you can change the range, the bin capacity, the damage. If you want to change the fire rate, this is, I think, I just wanted to do. When people tell you that you need to change the attack delay, they're talking shit. The attack delay refers only to semi-automatic weapons. Automatic weapons are not affected at all by the attack delay. You need to go into the receivers again. There is only one way to change the fire rate of an automatic weapon. Find an automatic weapon, the receiver of an automatic weapon. It's better if you do this before merging the mods. Otherwise, it's just a gigantic mess. I need to delete these, for example. They were meant to be here. Yeah, but this is not, because this is how you create. It's when you create the attachment, not actually the attachment itself. So it's not this. It's not constructible objects. Maybe component. No, it's not component. Oh my god, I just did it just right before. Container. Object modification. Yes, there you go. AK barrel stock optic receiver. So when you pick a receiver, you find here speed. Is this automatic weapon? This adds speed. Because it doesn't set, it adds to the base value. I want to show you something that sets rather than add. Okay. So this is how you set the speed. If you want to just multiply, add to something that refers to the base value, just write set, float, set, speed, and this is the fire rate. If you increase this value, it becomes faster. If you decrease this value, it becomes this weapon for Shimiega becomes, so the fire rate becomes slower. 1.5, it's already pretty fast. It's like the fastest assault rifles, they don't shoot faster than 1.5. An AK-47 would be 1.1, 1.2. So this is how you set the fire rate of a weapon. So I've explained you how to merge things, how to deep copy as override, then create your list, make the list work, change the stats of the weapons, the receivers, the ammo, and I think we're pretty much done. You need to save and launch your game.